Hey, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's me, Legal Vices. And hey, everybody is here. We've got Vicky. We've got, who else do we have? We have Flux. We have Steph. Steph, long time no see. It is ass early for you. Congratulations on waking up. It's so good to see you here. Who else do we have? We've got Rose. Rose, you're here. Mod. Okay, let's see. We got to do a mod check here real quick. Flux is here. Mod Allen is here. Rose is here, and Steph is here. Thank you so much, and welcome everyone. Welcome to the show today. Still getting used to the new microphone placement here. I don't know. Need to maybe bring it down just a little bit closer there. I don't know. It's weird. Whatever. Yeah. Anyway. It's great to see you all here today. We have a little bit of a show to get through here. We'll have to see how it goes because we're talking about Alec Baldwin. But first, before we go, there is a mystery that I have no idea how to solve because it's not showing up anywhere. If any of you can shed light on this, it would be greatly appreciated. So if thanks need to be given, thanks need to be given. Setting up the stream, there's like a YouTube creator studio where you can check on things like stream health, viewer activity, analytics, stream settings, concurrent viewers, likes, and chat revenue. When you start the show, chat revenue is at 0. Always. Unless somebody does something before the show that doesn't get picked up. Right here, it says that my chat revenue for this particular stream is already $1,000. But there's no record of any super chats, any gifted memberships or anything like that here. So I don't know if it's just a glitch in the matrix or if one of you did something ridiculously, outrageously generous. If anybody knows what happened or if you did something yourself, please tell me because I'm borderline freaking out here a little bit. Yeah, and that's all I've got. I have no idea what this is. It's Dorothy says nobody's dropping a bag on you, but I checked all of my other videos. They are all in order. All the ones that are backed up and ready to go. This is the only one that has that. So I'm kind of freaking out, but it'll, if you 10 shots behind, there's another reason to find out if someone has done something. So if, it's for feet pics. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I don't know whether to be shocked at generosity or outraged at YouTube for being a bunch of a-holes and screwing things like this up and toying with my emotions. But I'll find out in a couple of days, one way or the other, because it takes about 2 days for them to process all of the analytics data. So I'll find out one way or the other. If somebody did something, take your credit now, because I have no way of knowing who did what. So we will have to see. Yeah, I hope it's $1. Mimi says Playboard says $1. I hope it's $1. If it's $1, we can deal with that. All right. Let's go on the assumption it's a $1 thing that somehow the chat revenue is kind of freaking out about. All right. Yeah, Alec Baldwin's in it. Thanks for that. All right, what's going to happen tonight? We're going to get in this. We're going to go quick. At most, it's going to be an hour and 30 minutes, probably closer to an hour if I have anything to say about it. Nick will be streaming the trial, as far as I know, starting 90 minutes from now. If he sends me the invite, I'll be on with him. If not, I'll be sleeping peacefully in my bed. But like I said, we've got a bunch of stuff to get through here today, so let's get to it. weekend preview today. Well, the rest of the weekend preview anyway. Today, Alec Baldwin. Tomorrow, we'll be back to O.J. Simpson. We'll be doing the cross-examination of Mark Furman again. We've had to delay that a little bit because of other events. And on Friday, there's about a 95% chance that I will not be doing a live stream because Legal Mindset will be down here in Busan. We'll be kicking it and drinking incredible amounts of alcoholic beverages and having a hell-raising good time. But we may do some kind of little mini stream or just pop on and see what happens from somewhere in the city that night. We'll just have to see. And then over the weekend, nothing going on. And then I'm back on Monday. We'll be back on Maritime Monday doing, you like the cannibal story so much. Yeah. On yesterday. Wait, I forgot what day it is. Holy crap. It's Tuesday, isn't it? Tuesday today is Alec Baldwin. Tomorrow is Taylor Shabusiness. Taylor Shabusiness and other law news. If you remember Taylor Shabusiness, she's the one that chopped up her boyfriend and left his head and his junk in a bucket after pleasuring herself and his corpse for a few hours. We'll be updating that tomorrow and other legal news. Then Wednesday, which is tomorrow. Let's try this all again. I'm still kind of freaked out over that. Okay, it's reset itself. It was $1. Okay. Okay, it was $1. All right. Now that I see where Alec Baldwin said it from Mortimer Duke. When that cleared, it rolled things back. So it was $1. Yay, nobody did something crazy, but B, boo, nobody did anything crazy. All right, now that's out of my system, let's do this again. Tonight, Alec Baldwin. Wednesday is Taylor Shabusiness and other legal news. Thursday is the O.J. Simpson. Friday is me drinking with Andrew and possibly no stream. Next Monday, you liked cannibalism so much yesterday, cannibalism on the high seas, that we're going to be talking about more cannibalism on the high seas next Monday with a video from Ask the Mortician about the true story of Moby Dick, which is way gruesomer than the book if you've read the book. So that'll take us through the next week. Right here, let's jump back into the Alec Baldwin deal. What we're going to look at tonight, we're going to look at a demand for arbitration. Alec Baldwin and his production company are trying to force the Rust movie production company into arbitration. We'll be talking about that and why he's doing that. And then we'll be looking at his request for the arbitration, which is going to include a lot of backstory about the lawsuit that Halyna Hutchins family filed against Alec Baldwin. A lot of the reasons why they filed. And then we'll talk about the settlement of that lawsuit. And along the way, we'll be mentioning some of the other lawsuits that have been filed. Flux says, I feel some weird way about them trying to finish the movie. There's reasons. I think I believe there's reasons. I think I will actually have to see it. Yeah, it should be interesting, but I think it's kind of anyway. We'll talk about that as we go along because I've got thoughts about that. All right, mods, you do your thing today. You guys are awesome. Keep people engaged. And hit that like button if you have not already done so. There's 250 of you here, 99 likes. More than half of you haven't done their job. So get down there, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Let's jump into this arbitration application. So we're on kind of borrowed time here with the start time for Darrell Brooks coming up. Where are we? Here we are. Boop. Bring this up here. Here is the arbitration demand. Oh, and well. I was going to open that big bottle of beer. Now I'm going to have to wait a while. Yep, we're definitely going to have to wait a while to open that. We'll talk about the beer in a bit. So the claimant is Alexander R. Baldwin III and Eldorado Pictures, Inc. Eldorado Pictures, Inc. is Alec Baldwin's own production company. And also through this arbitration demand, you're going to learn a little bit more about exactly what his role and his production company's role is in this movie. So then you can kind of see more about the liability that he may or may not be exposed to. Aussie Overlord, hey, welcome. Just finished a video tutorial for you. I'll send you a link for you so you're good to go tomorrow. I'm getting a little streamy box tomorrow so I can make wacky noises and change my voice. And Aussie Overlord is the master of that, so I begged him to make me a video. Flux, I can't do any more grounds today. Grounds! I made some really cool visual aids for the Brooks trial, but I left them on my desk in my office, so crap. Alexander Baldwin III and his company are filing a demand for arbitration against Rust Movie Productions LLC and Ryan Smith. Ryan Smith owns Rust Movie Production Company. And what they want to do is they want to force Alec Baldwin and El Dorado Pictures wants to force the Rust Movie Production LLC and Ryan Smith into arbitration. Arbitration is not a lawsuit. Courts handle courts handle the lawsuits. Everything is done by rules of evidence and all of that. Arbitration is more of an informal way of resolving disputes. You can either have it done on equitable basis or according to laws. And the arbitrator is the panel that decides who wins, who loses, and how much is awarded. Are ordinarily and most frequently, at least in the arbitrations that I've dealt with and that I'm involved in, are handled by experts in a particular field. So for this, you may want to have some Hollywood executives or producers, but the courts can do them too. But that's how they want to run it. Isn't exactly clear from this, but this is just the beginning. This is just a demand that they arbitrate. Here it talks a little bit about the who's who, but I want to read some highlighted points from this. And while I'm doing this, again, hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you want to do the super chats, go right ahead. If not, it's up to you. It's not a requirement. There is no minimum. It's just something that I gratefully accept if you gratefully donate. At this point, two things are clear, says Alec Baldwin, his lawyer. Someone is culpable for chambering the live round that led to this horrific tragedy, and it is someone other than Baldwin. Of course, he's going to say that. That's his lawyer. That's what he gets paid for. But we do know that that's true. From what we know, it is true. Someone else, not Alec Baldwin, loaded that bullet into the chamber. Love's a loaded gun, and it shoots to kill. Sorry, Alice Cooper there. 2, Baldwin is an actor. Yeah. So we know that it's a live round. It was put in there, and Baldwin didn't do it. Baldwin is an actor. He didn't announce that the gun was cold when it really contained a live round. He didn't load the gun. He didn't check the bullets in the gun. He didn't purchase the bullets. He didn't make the bullets and represent that they were dummies. He wasn't in charge of firearm safety on the set. He didn't hire people who supplied the bullets or checked the gun, and he played no role in managing the movie's props. Each of those jobs was performed by someone else. True. Okay. And especially true that he didn't check the bullets in the gun. But that's neither here nor there. This is just a dispute between him and his production company against the movie production company. As he'd done throughout his career, Baldwin trusted other professionals on the set to do their job. Baldwin has also found himself on set with a gun pointed at him. He has therefore been trained for decades about gun safety on movie sets, and he received similar training from Reed on the set of Rust. Yeah, and again, I know what you're all thinking. Yes, he's trained for decades on gun safety, so why was he doing everything absolutely unsafe? That's not important for this particular arbitration. Forget how ridiculously negligent we all think Alec Baldwin was. Forget how absurd it is that he's dicking around with a gun and pointing it at people and shooting them one way or the other, depending who you believe. Now, so he's just basically saying, I didn't do anything wrong. Now, the facts make it clear that Baldwin is not culpable for these events or failures. Baldwin is not responsible for the negligence on the set. Baldwin, therefore, brings this action to seek indemnification under Section 9 of the producer's agreement. Now, this is why he's doing this. And this will tie into the settlement a little bit later, I believe. There is a contract between his production company and him and his production company and the Rust Movie Production Company and this Smith guy. And what it says, we'll get to what it says, but an indemnification, what indemnification is just an agreement that if Alec Baldwin or his production company has to pay something in damages, then the Rust movie production company and Smith have to reimburse him. So basically, he's saying that whatever I have to pay out to someone like, say, Halyna Hutchins' family, the other company has to reimburse him for that money so he suffers no personal individual losses from it. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Why, that must mean that he gets off scot-free and ends up not having to pay anything for civil damages. Yeah, that's precisely what that might mean. So think about that when we talk about the settlement later. Whatever he has to pay to the family or anybody else, he's saying that the Rust movie production company has to reimburse him for those losses. Mimi's got the thing here. Oh, weird. I was unsubbed from Aussie too. YouTube does this. They just unsubscribe people for whatever reason. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. But if you have subscribed, please double check just to make sure you're still subscribed. And hit that like button too. 50% of you haven't done the job. We got 370 here and 160 likes. Let's bring this likes up to 370 that fast. Okay, back to the story. No. Here, there's the thing. Silveric says, I know people want him punished, but I see he has a strong defense. It's important to separate the criminal liability from the civil liability. This totally deals specifically with the civil liabilities. The wrongful death claims, the intentional infliction of emotional distress claims, things like that. Hey, Tug in the chat. Welcome, Umbrella Man. Good to see you here. If you want in to talk about Alec Baldwin, you are welcome. I can send you the link if you want it. It's always good to have you around. I know you're probably working, but hey, let me send you the invite if you want it. Great. If not, hey, I know you're a responsible individual that has their own things to do. Where are you here? There you are. Link sent just because you're Tug and I'm not. Oh, not that one. Go away. Go away. All right. I actually just clicked on my own link. Boom. All right. Sit back and watch, or feel free to join. It's at your total absolute discretion, of course. So here is what this producer agreement, this is the agreement between the two production companies say. If the parties are unable to resolve any dispute informally, then such a dispute will be submitted to final and binding arbitration. So what we've got here is apparently they've tried to work it out. Alec Baldwin tells the Rust Movie Productions and Ryan Smith, hey, I'm about to get my ass sued off. I'm about to be crushed by lawsuits. And remember how our agreement says that you have to reimburse me for everything? I'm ready for that. And then the company apparently said, oh no, go intercourse yourself, Alec Baldwin. We're not covering you. And because they couldn't reach an agreement, we've got this point here where they're coming to arbitration. So because they were not able to resolve this dispute regarding liability informally, now they're making the demand for arbitration so that they can submit it to arbitration and work it out. Now, we're going to go through some of the factual allegations here. This is the interesting part. These are the interesting things. This is how we get a little bit of insight into what happened between Alec Baldwin and Halyna Hutchins' family. All right, respondents, and it also tell you a little bit about his job as producer, Alec Baldwin's. What are his responsibilities, liabilities, and limitations as producer in this matter? Rust has 6 credited producers: Ryan Smith, Nathan Klinger, Ryan Winterstern, Matt Del Piano, Anil Nigam, and Baldwin. Smith, individually and through his production company, Rust Movie Productions, was primarily responsible for Rust's day-to-day operation. They are the main producers. They're the main producers in this. Smith and his associate, Gabrielle Pickle, We heard about her. She was the one that was telling Hannah Gutierrez Reed, the armorer, she only gets 8 days as armorer. Stop having trainings. Stop doing things with Baldwin. Leave everybody alone. Spend more times with the props. Don't be an armorer. That's this Gabriella Pickle. So Smith and Gabrielle Pickle, they hired the crew. So this is where this argument's going. These are the two that hired all of the incompetent fools that led to this unfortunate accident. They're the ones that put a loaded firearm in Alec Baldwin's hand and told him not to worry about it. Baldwin's only involvement in Rust's finances was his forfeiture of his own fees that he gave back to the production to enhance the budget, and Baldwin's total compensation package, starring and producing, was set at $250,000. However, Baldwin gave back $100,000 as an investment and offered an additional $37,500 from his fees. I can't stop saying Pickle. That's her name. I didn't name her that. And this just shows some of his deals. Like, yeah, I'm checking on the status of the scripts, the financing. These are just emails showing that he's just worried about the creative side of things, not the hiring and firing side of things. Blah, blah, blah. Goes on. Lengthy document. Okay. In these circumstances, he, Alec Baldwin, does not have authority to choose the crew or otherwise direct the non-creative aspects of the film. I got nothing to do with it. I'm only working creative. I don't hire fools. It's not my deal. And the next section is Baldwin and his production company enter into a contract with respondents. Respondents are the defendants, we'll call them. On October 6th, 2021, Baldwin and his production company, Eldorado Pictures, Inc., entered into the producer agreement with Ryan Smith and Rust Movie Productions, LLC. This emphasizes his and Eldorado Pictures' creative role in the Rust production. Baldwin may not engage the services of and or facilities of any third party in connection with Rust without Rust Movie Productions LLC's prior written consent in each instance, indicating that Baldwin had no independent authority to make hiring decisions on Rust. And that also goes to firing deals, staffing deals. They're basically laying the basis that Alec Baldwin had nothing whatsoever to do with any of the people doing anything incompetent on set. Now, finally, Section 9. This is the one that has the indemnification clause. This is the important one for the entire thing that's going on here. This is the important one. Let me see if I can make this bigger so you can see it. That's as big as we can get it, unless I go down here. We all know how much you like it when I go down. All right, there we go. All right. Baldwin may we already did that. Finally, Section 9 of the producer agreement contains a broad indemnification clause, providing that Rust Movie Productions LLC shall pay back, defend, and hold harmless Eldorado Pictures and Alec Baldwin from and against any loss. Let me read this more colloquially here, because this is standard contractual wording. Let me read it just a little more colloquially here. Rust Movie Productions LLC shall pay back Alec Baldwin, shall defend Alec Baldwin, shall hold Alec Baldwin harmless from and against any losses, any damages, any liability, any claims, any demands, any actions, any costs and expenses, including attorney's fees and costs, arising from or in connection with Rust Movie Productions' breach of its representations, warranties, or covenants. 2, this is the important one, Rust Movie Productions' negligent or willful misconduct, and or 3, the development of financing, production, marketing, blah, blah, blah. So this contract is a ridiculously good contract for Alec Baldwin. Ozzy Overlord, if you're still here, I sent you a link too. Oh, you are still here. I sent you a link too. Get on here if you want. This as Aussie Overlord says, is standard boilerplate wording, but it is incredibly strong for an indemnity clause. Let's look at that again. Any losses or damage that Alec Baldwin suffers, including his legal fees for any negligence that Rust Movie Productions LLC has. Now, see, that's the thing we're talking about, Walter. He's saying that his responsibility, his liability as a producer is limited only to the creative side of things. That his producership is strictly limited by this agreement to the creative side. All of the hiring and firing of staff members, all of the checking of qualifications of actors and staff members is with the movie production, with Rust Movie Productions, Inc. So this is saying that Rust Movie Productions LLC negligently hired incompetent, unqualified people, and those people hired by them did negligent things that resulted in damages to Alec Baldwin. So he's saying because the part of the producers that hire and fire people did something negligent, which resulted in me blasting someone and suffering damages, that company has to pay me, my costs, and my lawyer's fees. Right there in the agreement is what he's arguing. And it looks pretty darn solid to me. And again, it's important to keep the civil and criminal liability deal, but his civil liability looks really, really tied up in this indemnity clause. The day after he arrived, this is where we get more into the gun safety issues and his role in all of this. The day after he arrived, Baldwin had training with Reed. Rust's armorer. The training lasted around 90 minutes. She reminded Baldwin of gun safety measures he had learned at substantially similar gun trainings throughout his career, such as putting the gun down immediately once cut is called and not to force the gun if it jams. I'm sure there was a little more than that talked about. But Reed did not instruct Baldwin to check the gun himself. In fact, she told Baldwin that it was her job to check the guns, not his. Going back to the criminal liability, someone shouldn't have to tell you to check the loaded deadly firearm. Look at Jensen Ackles. He said, I don't care if they tell me to do it or not. I double check it and then I triple check it by firing into the dirt 6 times. So yeah. So I'm just a poor boy. I'm a little innocent boy. I just followed the instructions of someone 1/3 my age, almost old enough to be married, but not quite. Hey, Aussie Overlord, welcome.
G'day.
How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad.
Welcome aboard.
Cheers. Sorry for the casual nature. Got the rug of love hanging out, but
yeah. Well, let's dive back into this. We got 1 hour left, and then it's Nick Rekieta time to turn the Brooks trial over to him, and then get out of his way. All right. Let's get. What do you think of that indemnification clause? That's pretty solid. That was pretty solid.
That was a hell of an indemnification clause. How did he negotiate that? I mean, I get that it's probably, it's Alec Baldwin. He's got a certain amount of clout, all that sort of stuff. But at the same time, that was really robust in terms of an indemnification clause. Like that, them trying to sever that.
It ends with ... and it doesn't quote what happens after ... but it's possible that it could have provided, however, that this shall not apply if Alec Baldwin is found to have been personally negligent to any extent with regard to injuries, blah, blah, blah. We don't know. We don't know if it has that kind of a provision that says we'll cover him unless he is negligent or did something intentionally. That would be their way out, but we don't know what that says because we just have the demand for arbitration.
Yeah.
And that's what we're into tonight. A little bit of beer.
Fair enough.
I'm not a beer drinker at all. I really don't like beer, but one of my good friends who happens to live right next door to me in the building next to me is a brewer from England, Guerrilla Brewing, free plug. Gets amazing this new beer that's like heavily weeded 8%. He said, "Do you want to try some?" I said, "Okay." And that's what I'm doing. I'm trying a liter of it. 8% liter, dark, kind of a lagery looking thing, really heavily weeded.
That is a decent pint.
Good. Yeah, it's decent. Several pints. So, all right, let's get back into this.
Yep.
Where are we at here? Let's not boomer this. All right, we'll hide down here in the bottom left-hand corner. Oh, Flux, $10. Thank you so much for the super chat. Here's a couple dollars to show my support for Aussie Overlord. Thank you for giving me money to show your support for Aussie Overlord. Everyone, show your support to Aussie Overlord by giving me money. That's how this grift is supposed to work. His show is great.
To be fair,
he needs more love.
To be fair, the last time I was grifting on your stream, I made like $3,000.
Yeah,
you're still sour about that, huh?
I certainly have never made $3,000 on one of my own streams. Yeah, I'm a fan of the soundboards. No one does them anymore. Happy he's getting you hooked. Yeah, it was like $350. I ordered it.
I was going to say this guy isn't the only one. That's why I had to do the tutorial. If it had just been Jeff, I would have actually just done it individually. You'll see them popping up on probably 3 or 4 other creators' streams now. So that's why I've done up the video. I'm sending it to everyone so that they can just do it all themselves.
Well, we were all on Good Logic's show on Sunday morning. Sunday morning my time, I believe it was. I can't remember. There was a lot of alcohol involved my last weekend. Saturday or Sunday, we were on Good Logic's show, and it was me, you, Law and Lumber, and Joe, and we were all you two weren't, but Joe and I were just confused and dazed by the whole thing. So mercifully,
that was funny.
Hayden decided to give us a video, but yeah. So tomorrow, probably not tomorrow night. I'll probably need some time to figure it out. Probably starting on Monday or the end of the week, we'll get it worked out. But anywho, let's get back to the
focus.
Yep, let's get back. See, now I've got the beer belches. Got to keep my hand on the mute button. Baldwin followed, and just jump in anytime here. Baldwin followed Reed's instructions. Reed also offered cross-draw training. Cross-draw training is not focused on gun safety, but rather the motion of pulling the gun from the holster. Baldwin has drawn a gun from a holster on the set of a film many times and did not require this training, already being comfortable with the technique. Cross-drawing is a bitch. Were you here when we had Law of Self-Defense on, and we had Runkle of the Bailey? Hayden?
I was watching. I wasn't here. I was in the chat watching. Yeah.
And they're both shooters and competitive shooters. And the idea with cross drawing is you're drawing across you, waving your arm in an arc across everybody. Ordinarily, you're just shooting. You're just doing this. It's a vertical motion.
Shooting from the hip.
Yeah. And whatever is in front of you is the only thing you have to worry about. Cross drawing is literally a 90-degree arc at least you have to worry about. And that's why it's illegal in a lot of things. Competitive shooting, I guess there's a lot of prohibitions against that because you don't just have whatever's in front of you to worry about killing. It's everyone in the sweep. So again, we're getting convoluted between the civil liability and the criminal liability. Let's put all this shit aside and focus on the civil.
Yep.
Baldwin did not need cross-drawing training. He needed a holster that fit properly. So again, they were negligent in not providing a holster that fit correctly.
So what they're saying that it wasn't her actions as an armorer, it was her actions as a prop maker.
Either or, I guess. It's just saying everybody was negligent, and everybody that was negligent was hired by the Rust production, so therefore you have to pay me back.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting at here. Now we go to the events of the day. This is like excerpts from the script we don't give a shit about. When the cast and crew returned from lunch, so we know that the gun, 5 of the 6 rounds were loaded before lunch. One of the rounds couldn't be loaded. They didn't know why. They thought maybe there was some dirt in the chamber or something. So they were going to load it after lunch. They came back from lunch. They loaded it. And during lunch, it apparently just sat on a cart. When the cast and crew returned from lunch and resumed preparations for rehearsal inside the church, Baldwin was handed the gun by Halls. While handing the gun to Baldwin, Halls announced to all those in the vicinity, "We have a cold gun on set." And of course, cold gun is supposed to mean safe, but in accepting the gun and relying on Hall's representation that the gun was cold, Baldwin did as he had always done and had been taught to throughout his career, just accepting it. Because an actor can't rule the gun is safe. So he has to listen to those with experience and authority, even though he just said 4 paragraphs before that he had decades of experience. He pulled the gun out slowly without issue and held it before Hutchins began giving him any directions. Why would anyway, continue civil. Hutchins described what she would like Baldwin to do with the placement of the gun, which contained only dummy rounds as far as anyone was told. She directed Baldwin to hold the gun higher to a point where it was directed towards her. Baldwin asked Hutchins whether she wanted him to see him cock his gun as the script required. She responded yes. Baldwin tipped the gun down somewhat so that the lens of the camera would be able to focus on his hand's action on top of the gun.
Right.
Baldwin then pulled back the hammer, but not far enough to actually cock the gun. Which again, side note, we know is utter bullshit because there's about 50,000 videos out there now showing how that particular model will lock into place after 1/8 of an inch pullback. And less than 1/8 of an inch doesn't have enough force to trigger the primer. So anyway, just let him lie here. When Baldwin let go of the hammer, the gun went off. As later became known, a live bullet discharged from the gun and struck Hutchins, traveling through her body and striking Souza in the shoulder. Both Hutchins and Souza fell to the ground. Okay, that's what we know. Now, this is the post. This is the post deal talking to Matt Hutchins. This is the morning after the shooting. The shooting happened on October 21st. This is 8 a.m. the next day. This is Matt. Can I call you? This is Alec Baldwin. Can I call you or later if you prefer? Thanks for getting in touch. I think it would help if we confront this crisis together. I'm open to discussing. Please call when ready. I'm getting a lot of media requests, and here's how I'm responding. Blah blah blah. Then it goes on, and this is saying how they were buddy to begin with. Please note I'll be preparing a statement. I won't be able to speak until I have it done. So the day after this, he's just lost his wife, and Baldwin is probably trying to save his ass. And so then we get this. I need to know who to trust. I got a hotel for you here in Pasadena. Only if it's just for the night. So he's getting this meeting together. Then Baldwin promptly goes home to hang out with his family for the weekend. And then they keep sending back and forth texts between Halyna Hutchins' family and did Runkle say those guns can't go off without pulling the trigger? Runkle, the FBI, and a bunch of other gun experts and a bunch of other gun experts. It cannot happen. No. The FBI even broke the gun trying to get it to do that. That's how much it can't happen. But anyway, so it gets to they just keep sending these text messages back and forth. Now to the point where I think Hutchins started to feel he was being bothered by Alec Baldwin, who was probably scared as shit, trying to get really buddy with the family and try to avoid problems. We have this here 3 days later. I'd love to update you. I'd love an update on your son. He's not asking about the wife. He's like asking about the kids, kind of slipping into his DMs there a little bit. Hutchins saying, I think we'll find sensible ways to meet again when the time is right. And for now, just please focus on your family. I'm sure they're cherishing that you were at home. That's her husband saying, leave us alone. We're kind of mourning right now. And then 3 days later, I'm thinking of you and Andros and hope you all have a safe flight home. My wife sends her concerns. So he keeps bothering the family. And then you please share with her. Andros approved this one. Did you make it home? He keeps like every day. He's like texting them every day like a jilted lover who's trying to get back with someone. Did you make it home? Yes. How are you doing? I'm available if you want to chat. And then they start chatting. And Baldwin is saying,
how the hell did he make this about him? This poor guy's just lost his wife. The kids lost their mother. Oh, crying out loud. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. He strikes me as the type of person that'd do it because most of the things that I've seen him in, he's been incredibly obnoxious. But, seriously, this is insane.
Yeah, Isabella Rain says he's sticking himself right in there. It's a way not to let the family go through the emotions organically. I don't like it. The fact they're finishing the movie now too, like he's making the husband depend on him for a payment. It's a bit gross. Well, we'll get to that point. We'll get to that point. But this is like what happened when my older brother was killed in a drunk driving accident. The driver's insurance company was calling us a day and a half later after the accident, wanting to settle for $25,000. Totally trying to take advantage of emotions, trying to pressure you into a settlement while you're still confused and you're like, just want to sign everything. Well, luckily I answered the phone and it got really fucking ugly on the phone. Yeah. So that seems like what he's doing. He's like inserting himself, like you said. He's making it about him, putting himself into the picture, trying to make him part of the story. And he's doing the old the double bluff here. I understand if you want to speak to lawyers. I understand if you want to get some legal advice before you talk to me. Hoping he's going to say no. We trust you. We trust you, Alec. You're a good guy, Alec. Don't worry about it. But he's just saying, let's just keep in touch, maintain the relationship. And then here's their little buddy emails that they apparently sent back and forth. Not really that important. And there's several other messages they're going through just in the immediate weeks after. Finally, we get to December 17th. And this is kind of where he's been doing this for a month. He's been sort of inserting them into their lives for almost 2 months, I guess.
Yeah.
He goes on George Stephanopoulos. And that was the first time he said, I didn't do anything. I didn't pull the trigger. I didn't do anything wrong. So 2 weeks after Baldwin's interview with Stephanopoulos aired on ABC, Baldwin sent a text message to Hutchins in light of the upcoming holidays, writing, in spite of the anguish of all of this, I am wishing you and your son a happy holiday. Hutchins responded again more than 2 weeks after the interview. I genuinely hope you and your whole family can get together and have moments of fun, love, and togetherness, and that this is a healing time for everyone. Now, here we go. Baldwin attempts to craft a proposed settlement with Hutchins. This is where the lawsuit comes in. This is where he pushes it a little bit too far. Hey, we've got a meme raid. Welcome, memers. Meme Copium raid is coming in. That is absolutely great. We are 710 concurrent viewers and only 309 likes. That's like 150% of you haven't done your job. So everybody get down there and hit that like button while we're doing this. Let's get this up to 700 likes this fast. That's all it takes. Just that fast and you're there. And hit subscribe if you haven't already done. And by the way, Aussie Overlord, last I heard, was 50 subscribers away from 4,000. Where are you sitting?
I think I added 3 because YouTube keeps stealing some of them.
Aussie Overlord. Go to Aussie Overlord and subscribe to his channel. He's an Australian lawyer. He does this stuff. Plus, he does it with a really cool Australian accent. And he swears a lot. And he shows dirty pictures on Sunday. How is that for an introduction?
That's great.
Is that good enough? Just go, just subscribe for the dirty pictures on Sunday. That's the highlight of my week when I get to join him for those.
Oh, shit.
So again, this happened on October 21st. As early, and they're bragging about this. His lawyers, Baldwin's lawyers, are bragging about this. As early as November 3rd, 2021, Baldwin was in touch with Rust producers, coordinating efforts to get the group together to begin discussions of a settlement. This is why this pissed me off. This is 2 weeks after the shooting, after this guy had his wife blasted away, after the son had his mother blasted away. 2 weeks later, he's saying, why don't we all get together and talk settlement real quick? Laser Turk asks, are we watching the Daryl Brooks thing? Ricade is doing it. Ricade is streaming. If Nick sends me an invite, I would be dumb not to go. But yeah, so 2 weeks later, he wants to get everybody together for a settlement. I guess that would be great if you were Alec Baldwin's lawyer. If you were Hutchins' lawyer, what would you think about that, Hayden?
I would automatically think that they were trying to take advantage of the situation, that they were trying to... Yeah, and surprisingly, I'd be thinking they were trying to cover it, like sweep it under the rug as quickly as possible.
Oh, yeah.
And, little bit of coercion there. Like, it's really not a good look when you look at it on paper. I'm just saying.
Nope. And Darrell on, thank you. Oh, you changed the position of your dog's head. Hey, puppy. Thank you so much for the super chat with the new doggo pick. All right. So yeah, exactly. It just looks bad and it sounds bad, and it probably didn't taste real well to Halyna Hutchins' husband as well.
No,
so,
I can't imagine it would have.
Yeah. And Alec Baldwin believed that the business side of the production, particularly Ryan Smith, should conduct these settlement discussions. But for some reason, they didn't return his phone calls. I'd be like, no, we're not getting involved
I'm
in this
shocked.
2 weeks in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And here we go. This is where we're leading into the settlement with that just came to light. The proposed settlement for Hutchins included a component of insurance proceeds. In addition, Baldwin made an exhaustive effort to contact Rust Cast in the hopes of acquiring their support to finish the film. He, quote, did so both with the intent of honoring Halyna's legacy by completing her last work and of compensating Hutchins for his son from the film's profit and his son from the film's profits. He was doing this out of the goodness of his heart to honor the woman he blasted away, and to give the money to their son.
Question.
So now, yeah, go ahead.
Was a separate LLC set up for the movie production itself, like a sub one to the actual movie company?
Well, there's the Rust Movie Productions LLC, and Alec Baldwin has his own LLC, El Dorado Productions.
So theoretically, Rust Movie Productions was established purely for this film. So if the film doesn't proceed, no profits, no contract, his indemnity goes away. Yeah, I can see why he'd want the movie finished.
Yep, exactly. And that's no, he doesn't have a heart. His heart is this. Listen to this again. This is totally self-serving. He has this clause we just read that the movie production company will pay for all of his indemnities, anything that happens to him, including his lawyer fees, if they acted negligently. If the movie doesn't get finished, this all goes away. It dissolves. There's nobody around to pay.
It's not only if the movie doesn't get finished; it's if it doesn't make enough to cover the fees as well. But yes, if they had ceased production, he was on the hook for everything. So yeah, it's completely self-serving for him to try and push through that indemnity clause. What a
he has to get this film finished in order to get the repayment under this indemnity clause. And also, we'll talk about it when we talk about the settlement here. But yeah, it's not all him being nice. It's him needing to get this done so he can keep his own ass off the hook. No one who has been involved in Rust is eager to return to New Mexico. Nobody except Alec Baldwin. Now we're into this year, January 4th and January 26th. During the first phone call, Hutchinson told Baldwin that the proposed settlement sounded interesting. He did not accept or reject the settlement, but told Baldwin that he would need to think it over after reviewing additional details. And that means I'm going to go talk to my lawyer.
Yeah.
Which is why on the second phone call, Baldwin recalls Hutchinson sounding less open-minded. On February 14th, Baldwin sent a text message stating to Hutchins that he had heard Hutchins' attorney intended to hold a press conference the next day. Baldwin expressed his concern that the proposed settlement would be imperiled. That's like, if you do this, the settlement's off the table and we'll go to war, trying again to pressure the family into whatever settlement agreement he had lined up. It would be imperiled by the press conference if Hutchins' lawyer attacked Baldwin or anyone else presumed essential to the completion of the film. Again, if we can't get this film completed, we're coming after you. Don't you say anything that's going to attack me or anyone else. Otherwise, it's off the table. Well, the next day, Hutchinson's attorney, Brian Panish, held a press conference announcing that the filing of a wrongful death lawsuit against Baldwin, Rust Production companies, and producers and individuals from its crew. It's not by bribery. I mean, depending how strong-armed it is, I mean,
it's coercion.
It could be a little coercion, yeah. There's
plenty of other things that you can call it.
Yeah, a little strong-arm tactic there. But no, this is mild compared to what happens in a lot of insurance cases.
True. Very true.
A lot of times the insurance brokers are just plain evil. And this is like, but you said you liked me 3 weeks ago. That was what that text said. And now Reed, the armorer, files a suit against Seth Kenney. So this is another lawsuit that we have out there. Gutierrez Reed filed a lawsuit against Seth Kenney. She's saying as the armorer, she was responsible for maintaining and manage operations of the firearm and related movie props. And as a key prop assistant, she was also responsible for assisting with multiple props duties as requested by Zachary in production. So she's saying, hey, he gave us bad ammo. He gave us bang, bang, you're dead ammo. So that's what Reed is saying in her lawsuit against Seth Kenney.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also using that to say, Reed brought the guns. Reed did this. Reed, who Rust Productions hired. Reed did all of this negligent shit. Reed didn't check the bullets from Kenney, blah, blah, blah. So here's what he's after. The producer agreement requires Rust Movie Productions, LLC to indemnify, which again, as we said, means pay back, defend, and hold harmless from and against any lost damages. This is the whole big laundry list we just read. And claimants are presently incurring losses and damages and costs and expenses and face claims that if resolved against them, either by way of a judgment or a settlement is considered being resolved against them, will cause the claimants to incur losses that are the direct result of Rust Movie Productions LLC's breach of its representations and or covenant and negligence and or willful misconduct. So as a result, claimants are contractually entitled to immediate indemnification from respondents arising out of or in connected with Rust litigations and the above subject matter. So what are they asking for? Their prayer for relief. That is, Judge, this is what we want you to give us. This is what we're asking for. 1, indemnification in an amount to be determined by arbitration, but immediately including all fees and costs that Alec Baldwin has incurred and will continue to incur, and compensatory and consequential damages, pain and suffering, things like that. Pre-judgment interest at the maximum legal rate, attorney's fees and costs and expenses, and any other further relief that the arbitrator thinks proper. That is the arbitration request in a nutshell. Comments, Hayden? Ooh,
I'm just shocked that they didn't throw. I'm just shocked they didn't throw the kitchen sink in there, to be honest. I mean, look, it's fairly standard with what they've asked for. I mean, in terms of Rust LLC, I would be expecting that they'd have their own insurances involved. So theoretically, we're going to have an insurance company being joined to this as well. I mean, based on the wording of the indemnification clause, they would need to strongly prove that what happened was not a result of anyone on set that they are responsible for engaging in negligent conduct.
And they literally hired everybody.
Yeah.
And see, I wonder if you could even say that they even hired Alec Baldwin.
Well, that's just it. I mean, is he technically an independent contractor hired through his company? In which case, yes, they engaged his services.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he's effectively suing his own movie so that he can get off the hook. But I mean, where do we feel about him actually selling up that property? Do we still think that that's a possible liquid funds, or?
Well, I mean, that was the thing. That's the thing we talked about a couple of weeks ago. He apparently is trying to sell one of his homes for 16 times what he bought for it. He's still trying to sell it for what's like 20 mil or something, 19 million, something like that, or 29. It's a fuck ton.
29, I thought it was. Yeah, it's a huge amount of money.
Yeah, he paid like 1.9 or something for it, and he's selling it for like 16 times more than that. So I had probably around 29. Yeah. I mean, either he needs it to pay the settlement so he can seek indemnification, repayment from the insurance company or the other production company, or he just needs a war chest. Because I'm pretty sure, I don't think he's hiding assets because that's easy. I mean, you're Alec Baldwin. It's easy to track and trace. Yeah. I think he's probably just like your standard average rich guy. He's asset rich and cash poor. And you need to liquidate the. That's what I think. What do you think?
No, I think that's probably exactly what it was. I mean, he was probably hoping to have the cash so that if he had to pay the settlement up front and make it go away as quickly as possible, he didn't have to fight over the indemnification and have it drag out for potentially years. But yeah, I think that I think the company's going to have a rough time with it. Honestly, I think that they're going to wind up in a fairly strong-armed arbitration.
It looks good so far. Like I said, I want to see what that Article 9 says to see if it has that clause on the end that says unless Alec Baldwin acts negligently or intentionally. So, which
Hmm.
I hope it does for their sake, because it's pretty ugly.
Yeah.
But well, then we got the news that Alec Baldwin has reached a settlement with the family.
Mm-hmm.
And what have I done? Hang on just a second here. I've somehow boomered myself out of a camera. Where am
Everything
I?
looks good on this end.
Yeah, I just can't find myself on this end. How weird is that? Oh, there we are. I did something to the tabs, and StreamYard just went to a different tab. I couldn't find myself. I was lost and confused. Alec Baldwin reaches settlement over Halyna Hutchins shooting on the Rust set. See how big we can make this. That's what she said. Not Halyna Hutchins, because she's dead. But you know what I mean.
Oh god, I couldn't even reach the button in time.
That's what she said.
There you go.
There you go. We have some comment here. The husband sold his soul. Did he? It depends. Let's read this, then we'll talk about that. I'll star that so we can get back to it.
Yeah. If this is going to end the way that I think it is, then I wouldn't necessarily agree with that assumption.
Yeah. Alec Baldwin has reached a settlement with the family of cinematographer Halyna Hutchins after she was killed on a film set when he fired a prop gun. Filming of Rust will continue in January, with Ms. Hutchins' widower Matthew on board as the movie's executive producer. All parties believe Mr. Hutchins' death was an accident, her husband said. Again, accident doesn't mean off the hook for criminal liability.
No.
That's what negligence is. It's an accident. If it's not negligence, it's intentional.
Mm-hmm. Either way, it's still a crime.
Yep. A lawsuit filed against Mr. Baldwin, producers, and others had alleged violations of industry standards. The exact terms of the settlement, which is subject to court approval, have not been disclosed. I'll see if Hayden thinks if the settlement is likely structured the way I think it is. And again, mods, you guys are doing a great job there. Rose, Steph, Alan, if you're still here, I haven't seen you for a bit. Oh, there you are, mod Alan. Yep, everybody. Rose, you guys are awesome. Keep doing up the good work here. I have no interest in engaging in recriminations or attributions of blame, he added. This is the husband. All of us believe Halyna's death was a terrible accident. Mr. Baldwin posted his reaction in a statement on Instagram. Instagram, really, Alec?
Not the most dignified way to put something out like that.
We are pleased to announce today that the settlement of the civil case filed on behalf of the family of cinematographer Halyna Hutchins. Yeah. Throughout this difficult process, everyone has maintained the specific desire to do what is best for Halyna's son. Talking about the kids again. We're grateful to everyone who contributed to the resolution of this tragic and painful situation. Rust director Joel Souza, who was also injured in the shooting on the Bonanza Creek Ranch set near Santa Fe, New Mexico, said in a statement on Wednesday that he would now devote himself to honoring Halyna's legacy and making her proud. Parentheses, as long as I get paid. Though certainly bittersweet, I'm pleased that together we will now complete what Halyna and I started, he said. Goes back here through the basic facts, the OSHA, the occupational safety hazard, whatever the hell they are. I forget what anyway, OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, something like that.
I think that's about right. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the safety gangsters, they find them. And then almost 1 year after the tragedy, the criminal investigation still hasn't concluded. Again, charges are pending. Charges are imminent against up to 4 people, they've said. Heather Brewer, spokesman for the Office of the First Judicial District, this is important too, said in a statement, the proposed settlement announced today in Matthew Hutchins' wrongful death case against Rust movie producers, including Alec Baldwin in the death of Halyna Hutchins, will have no impact on District Attorney Mary Carmack Altwies's ongoing investigation or her ultimate decision whether to file criminal charges in the case. While civil suits are settled privately and often involve financial awards, criminal cases deal only in facts. If the facts and evidence warrant criminal charges under New Mexico law, then charges will be brought. No one, including Alec Baldwin, is above the law. Okay. We don't know what the settlement is. How would you structure a settlement like this if you were Alec Baldwin? what would you give to the family?
If I was the family, okay. So hang on. So if what Baldwin would offer to the family, straight up cash settlement based on the proceeds of the sale of the movie or gross profits. Sorry, net profits. Actually, I'd go with net profits for the percentage of the net profits.
The back ends, not the gross. Smart.
Yep. If I was acting for the family, I'd be expecting a full cash payment plus a certain percentage of all royalties, as well as a split of the net. Actually, no, I'd be asking for a split of the gross.
Yep. The front end.
Yep. An amount
because weirdly,
to what
in productions where people have the back end deals, the net profits, those movies don't
weirdly
seem to
that
make
can disappear.
profits. Yeah, weirdly those movies somehow remain unprofitable.
Yep.
You want the box office. You want a percentage of the box office.
Well, that's just it. I mean, who was it that gave away? There was someone that decided that they didn't want to have anything to do with like one of the movies that was a massive hit or something, and so he gave everything away. And if he had kept the royalties for it, his family would be billionaires right now. But he took an upfront cash payment of like 10 or 12 grand or something.
Well, that's kind of what the Polish guy that wrote The Witcher did.
Yeah, very similar to that.
He gave the entire Witcher franchise away for a song. I believe it was like 180,000, something like that. Because he's like, who's going to want to play some dumbass game based on these books that I wrote one day? And it turned. And then
which movie
he sued Red Dead Redemption. Not Red. That was fucking damn it. That's a different game. The Project Red. He sued Project Red because you made more money than I thought you would. It's like, sorry, you sold your soul. But I think I would structure it the way this, and maybe this is the middle ground between the two things you were saying. You get a cash payment, but you get the producer credits and the remuneration that comes with that. Again, that comes from the production company, not Alec Baldwin's fucking back pocket. He's basically talked the production company. Yeah, Project CD Red, not Project Red. But yeah, so you give him a flat fee for acting as executive producer, which comes from the production company, not Alec Baldwin's back pocket. You give him a chunk of the background, a chunk of whether it's the box office or whatever, and a cash settlement, and then you go and you claim that cash settlement, the indemnity from the production company and their insurers. Alec Baldwin walks away not paying a goddamn dime to the family.
Nope, not a cent. But I guarantee, in order to sweeten it, what he's done is because they've gone so hard about talking about the kids. I guarantee that boy has a trust fund that's been set up that will be paid out of the production company.
Yeah,
because when that eventually leaks, it's going to be part of the reasons why they settled, was to make sure that the boy was looked after.
And it didn't have to go through the trauma of trials and things like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that's kind of probably what it was. So the husband sold his soul. I think it depends on how well the movie does.
Yeah, basically.
And I think this also triggers two things. One, as much as people want to fucking hate Alec Baldwin and are ridiculously pissed that he is continuing this movie, if they boycott the movie and don't see it, the cinematographer,
it hurts the family. Yeah.
See the movie for the kid. See the movie for the family of the poor, murdered, allegedly woman. So you have to go see, in good conscience, you have to go see the movie. Otherwise, you're taking settlement money out of the kid's hands.
Which is why they had the husband word his statement the way that they did in that article, and why they're pushing that it was a horrible accident. We just want to continue her last was it last memory or last good work and all that sort of stuff. Pressing that very hard to say, people, get out there and watch it for the family and all that sort of thing. He has them over a barrel with that indemnification clause. You're right. I do want to see what's after those ellipses, but no, that is a really messed up situation, honestly.
Well, it is. And then you've got, and notice how this settled between the time that the sheriff's office said, we're ready to go forward with charges and is being sent to the district attorney's office to make the final decision, and just now, between the time charges are filed and the time they said, we're going to be dropping charges real quick here. Now he's settled this to where, okay, this movie is going to go back in production 3 months from now. If you charge me and immediately start this big, long trial, or if you want to throw me in jail, we can't make this movie. The child will lose all of his money. This stinks to hell. I mean, it's a pretty disgusting when you think about it at the lawyer level. When
the other thing is,
what do you want? We have to settle this immediately because they're going to drop charges, and we need to be able to put pressure on them not to charge me, because if I get charged, you don't get money.
See, the funny thing is, there's two ways to look at that district attorney's statement as well. I mean, either they're planning on issuing charges irrespective, or they weren't planning on issuing charges, but now that they're worried about getting egg on their faces by saying, "Oh no, you were pressured because of the settlement." Because that was a very strong statement for the prosecutor's office to make as well, saying that, irrespective of whatever's happened with the civil settlement and all that sort of thing, it doesn't affect the criminal matter. Charges may still be laid. All this sort of stuff. It was very strong wording. So either they're trying very hard to save face because they're not going to press charges. But then again, if they were planning on pressing charges, then why would they bother making a statement at all?
We'll just have to wait and see. But this settlement, the timing of this settlement is clearly a move to put pressure not to file the charges. Clearly.
Yeah.
Whether they will or not that's secondary to this is the deal. Yeah, well, and I've got this new microphone placement I'm dealing with, and it's good because it frees my hands to be more Italian than I
get used to it.
Yeah, it was always like sitting right here, but it was getting in the way of typing and my hand gestures.
Aren't the booms great though? It keeps it out of the way.
Yeah, just it's taking me back to the radio days. Of course, that would be right here. So you're Alec Baldwin. You've just settled this case. You've just decided to settle this case. You've just announced it. What's the first thing you do if you're Alec Baldwin?
Smile.
Okay, what's the second thing you do if you're Alec Baldwin? Dick.
Well, tell me I'm wrong. As soon as his lawyers told him that deal was signed and he was off the hook, the first thing he's going to do is smile. Second thing he's going to do is refuse to pay his lawyer's bills because that's going to come out of the indemnification.
Yep.
Third thing is he's going to go home and sleep like a freaking baby.
Yep. That's kind of probably it. But also, he would probably do something else if you're Alec Baldwin. If you're a normal person.
If you're Alec Baldwin, you're going to go to a shooting range.
Close. You do another interview.
Oh.
Yeah. Alec Baldwin.
Who'd he go on with?
CNN this time. Oh,
of course. Right.
Yeah, so Alec Baldwin did another interview on the 5th of October. Knock out another kid. Oh, no. Fuck a hooker. Several of you said knock out another kid. That's kind of funny.
Oh, apparently his wife's only just recently had one or something. I saw a chat. He's got 7 of them now.
Yeah. And then if you look at the timeline for that, he blows a lady away. And then 3 weeks later, he's like, I think we need to get it on and get some kids. I mean, he literally knocked his wife up. He literally knocked his wife up 3 weeks after he just ventilated some chick.
This guy just can't shoot blanks, can he?
No. God damn it. No, he can't. Shut up, Aiden. God damn it. Okay. You're proud of that one, aren't you? Wish I'd thought of that.
I was quite proud. The water went down the wrong way. I gotta eat a minute.
While he's composing himself, and while I decide what to do about him, let's see what brilliance Alec Baldwin did again with like his 97th interview about this fucking shooting. And what do you think he says? Of course, Alec Baldwin denies pulling the trigger on Rust's set in first interview with CNN.
Of course.
Yeah.
Why would you not put that in the settlement agreement if you were the family's lawyer, though? Restrain him from any further media interviews about it. Like, seriously.
IWD member for 2 months with the bent halos and broken wings level. Thank you so much. You have to love how the least insane member of the Baldwin clan is a lunatic who thinks he can alter reality with his will alone. It's kind of like Randy Quaid being like, runs off to Canada. He's just insane. Oh God. That's funny. IWD, weird. Your chats aren't coming through here. Oh, IWD gifted 1 Legal Vices membership, and that was picked up by Joe Choi. Joe Choi, haven't you got like 8 of these gift memberships like already? That's pretty awesome. Congratulations to you. And thank you for gifting the 1 Legal Vices memberships. That was very nice of you. All right. So let's watch him deny pulling the trigger again. Because why not? That's what Alec Baldwin's do.
Would it be too on the nose if I clipped that myself?
Go ahead. Well, I better timestamp that myself.
10 months in, and confusion still persists over the sequence of events that led to a deadly shooting on the set of Rust. This week, an FBI report concluded this gun could not be fired without the trigger being pulled while the gun was cocked, and eventually malfunctioned after internal parts fractured. In his first interview with CNN, Alec Baldwin denies pulling the trigger.
I never once said, never, that the gun went off in my hand automatically. I always said I pulled the hammer back, and I pulled it back as far as I could. I never took a gun and pointed at somebody and clicked the thing.
While waiting for the results of the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office investigation, Baldwin says he hired his own investigator.
That private investigator, as you probably know, did not have a difficult time accessing the staff of the Sheriff's Department. And that person told us, quote unquote, we've known in the department since January that Alec would not be charged with a crime.
A sentiment echoed by his attorney.
Do you think that there is a possibility, though, that he could face charges at all?
It would be a huge miscarriage of justice.
But the then president fanned flames against him.
The former president of the United States said he probably shot her on purpose. To me, it was really the only time I thought that I knew.
He's just the weirdest fuck when he starts talking about these things.
Mm-hmm.
The interview he did with Cuomo, with Chris Cuomo, he goes off on this whole JFK assassination rant. And now he's like, Trump said I probably did it on purpose.
He's got no filter between here and here. He's
just an idiot.
He didn't think I was worried about what was going to happen. Because here was Trump who instructed people to commit acts of violence. And he was pointing the finger at me and saying, I was responsible for the death.
No one has been charged for the tragedy on set. But Baldwin said there are 2 people responsible.
I'm assuming Baldwin's a
Armor
Democrat.
Halyna Gutierrez-Reed and Assistant Director Dave Halls. Through their attorneys,
remember he was Kim Jong-il's right-hand man in
occupational safety report.
The
Hannah Reid
America movie.
Handed the gun to Halls and said,
"Don't give it that's right, Team America. Yep,
Team America." Yeah.
And he proceeded to the set and handed me the gun.
Baldwin said Gutierrez-Reed should have known the difference between dummy rounds, which make a rattling sound, and live ammunition.
I mean, anybody on earth who works in that business can determine that.
Including you
so what did you?
Seriously, including you, you fuckwit. You literally.
Moron.
Between dummy rounds, which make a rattling sound, and live ammunition.
I mean, anybody on Earth who works in that business can determine that.
Mhm.
Baldwin raised questions about the supplier of guns and ammunition for the film, Seth Kenny, who is being sued by the armorer.
What was the provenance of all the bullets on the set? Where did those come from?
Well, according to the FBI report, as far as
What
I'm
did he just
aware,
say?
the bullets were commingled.
Who's responsible for the bullets? Where'd they come from?
No. How did he pronounce Providence?
Oh, provenance. He thinks he's French because he's from like next door to his wife. She's from Spain. Hilaria.
It just gets better and better.
Armorer.
What was the provenance of all the bullets on the set? Where did those come from?
Well, according to
Provenance.
the FBI report, as far as I'm aware, the bullets were commingled.
Right. So if that's the case, then who commingled them? Did Seth Kenny provide her with prop ammunition where he commingled live rounds with blank rounds?
Questions Baldwin says kept him up at night as he replayed
Liar.
the final days
He was
of a
banging his
talented
wife
friend
all night.
and cinematographer.
And
Yeah,
she
either
was
that or he took a
great at
sleeping
her
pill.
job, and she died.
Yeah.
And she died. And that hurts me every day.
Liar. Oh, acting.
Oh, yep.
Every day of my life, I think about that. It's horrible.
Q. Acting.
Mm-hmm. Q overacting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It hurts him. Yeah, it really hurts him.
Pope Rackets touched me. Legal advice is if you see my previous chats about the DA, can't SC ATM had to can't
Super chat at the moment. Had to cancel my card since I
super
lost
chat
to
at
the
the
buck.
moment.
Ooh,
Oh, wow.
that sucks.
Oops. Hate when that happens. But hey, I'm sorry to hear that. I hate when that happens. And
It's a pain in the ass.
You don't have to super chat. I just happened to accidentally glance down and see that one scrolling up a bit. I have know where it is. Oh, sorry. I promise I'll be a better host and pay more attention. Oh well. We were light on the grift today. It's not a grifty day, so we just wanted to get through this. This is kind of what we're going to be doing as long as the trial goes on. Is just sort of do condensed shows, do little micro shows, 1 hour, 1.5 hours, and deal with those. But
So the DA Democrat assigns a case to a special prosecutor who was running for office as a Republican. Political fuckery happening. Check out America's Untold Stories. Thank you very much, Pope Rackets. Touch me. I will have a look at that. I very much appreciate it. I know next to nothing about US politics. I'm learning that I need to know more.
well, I hope that means he gets charged. That's
It's
all I care
really
about.
sounding. It's really sounding more and more to me that they're not going to press charges. If they do, it's going to be politically motivated, which of itself I think is a little bit of an issue. But I mean, he needs to be charged.
Yeah, he does. I mean, 100% he should be charged. And I'm still sitting at 60% he will be charged.
Okay.
But I mean, I haven't really reprocessed things. I might go down to 50-50 at this point because of the settlement. I mean, you can get the win. Mimi emailed that to me. That's the one you emailed me to. Okay, yeah. I do have. I'll forward it to you. Yep. You know, it's possible to charge him, but then just offer him such a sweet ass deal. You know,
I don't know. I reckon that if they did that though, if they offered him like a ridiculously low conviction, they get roasted. They might as well not charge him. It'll look better for them.
Well, I mean, but still, then the DA can get a check in the win column. I mean, if you charge him with negligent homicide or reckless endangerment or whatever the hell would work in New Mexico, I don't know what the exact charge would be in New Mexico law. But you charge him with that, and you say you plead guilty. We'll do a 2-year probation. Or I mean, you could even do like a plea in abeyance thing, where if he keeps his nose clean for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, then it just goes away. Because you've got the fact that I'm sure the Hutchins guy won't be a witness for the prosecution. He doesn't. The victim's husband doesn't want him prosecuted. The civil case has been settled. There's really no justice would, they could argue that no justice would be served by seeking a prison term or a harsh judgment, but he still has to take responsibility. Therefore, we give him an offer with like 2 years probation. And then he goes on, he pleads guilty and everybody forgets about it. And also you could argue that if you don't do this, then the movie doesn't get made and the poor kid goes hungry and nobody can ever afford to send him to college.
Yep.
So that's why I'm just with him. It's so weird. It's this balance. There's this 50 balance where the reasons to charge him increase, but yet the reasons not to charge him increase. And I think it's literally just going to have to wait and see what happens. And wow, what the hell happened there? I just lost 500 viewers for no reason. What'd you do, Aussie Overlord?
Rackets,
oh, never
still
mind.
live.
It not yet. It just readjusted itself. Okay, that was weird. I just had a little minor heart attack. Like, oh my god, I'm being attacked by Hogla or something. I shouldn't have said that. Whatever. I just thought of the worst thing that could possibly happen in my life that I don't care about. Don't do that. I was drinking too.
Damn it, Jeff. No.
Well, it wasn't funny in my head until you started laughing. Then it got funny.
I didn't think it was funny. That was like nervous laughter, and now I've got to clean up water everywhere.
That's what she said.
Oh, man.
That's what she said.
Okay. All right. Here's my predictions, and then and I don't know how close are you following this big cast of characters, or are you following it at all?
I've mostly been following it by listening to you.
I'm sorry to hear that. So in other words, you know less than nothing about this case. Do you get these emails? You need to research this topic better for you. It's like, this is entertainment. This is not law. This is not education. This is just me talking off the top of my head.
Because most of my show is chat interaction, reading news, all that sort of stuff. Because I don't do the deep dives into various things, I don't have to deal with that. People don't give a shit because they know that I'm skimming over the top of stuff.
I'm just deep diving because I don't know what else to do. Here's my prediction. I'm still going to say Alec Baldwin gets charged. I'm still saying Alec Baldwin gets charged. No prison time, of course, probation, and it goes away real quickly and quietly. They said for 4 prosecutions, not 4 charges. So I'm thinking Alec Baldwin gets charged. Seth Kenney, the guy that supplied the ammo, gets charged. David Halls, the head safety guy, Hannah Gutierrez Reed, the armorer's boss, gets charged. And this Ms. Pickle, who was the production company guy's right-hand woman who hired everybody and who was directly responsible for telling the armorer not to do armorer things and to stop doing her job. The 5th charge is going to be the armorer. And they're not going to
I'm inclined to agree with that. No, they'll flip her.
They will flip the armorer and say, hey, you are the most responsible person here. But you're also the person who has the dirt on literally everyone else we've charged. You were right in the middle of it. So you take our deal. And again, you agree to 5 years probation or whatever. You flip, you give testimony against the other 4 and you walk. That's my prediction. And I'm sticking to it.
I'm inclined to agree with the armorer. What do you think they charge Baldwin with?
Whatever the negligent homicide is, the reckless endangerment or, unlawful killing or whatever the hell they call it in New Mexico.
Okay. I'm just wondering if they go for a slightly lesser charge than that, but it depends whether or not they're actually going to try and have him skirt around it, basically. So, but no, I'm inclined to agree with your assessment on it, honestly. It's a shit show all around.
Now, next Tuesday, we will be doing another Alec Baldwin story. another interview came to light. There's another interview leaked on the Crime Circus website, which is a follow-up telephone interview he did with the police.
Oh God.
So we will listen to that. And I haven't listened to it. And with these interview videos, I don't listen to them beforehand because I want to experience it with chat. So don't listen to it. Don't watch it. And no spoilers, chat. We don't do spoilers on the interrogation videos. Steph, are you leaving us? Or is someone leaving Steph? Well, I'm leaving everybody. B Clue says whatever Branka said. Y'all missed my super
pretty
chat.
safe bet.
If I miss anybody's super chat, now is the time to tell me. Got to scroll up for Daryl's super chat here. Damn it.
No, you've got like 5 star ones, and one of them's his.
Yeah, I've got 5-starred ones. Okay, and one of them is yours, so I haven't missed it yet. The husband sold his soul. We addressed that already.
Yep.
Ningal, I'm surprised AB hasn't claimed his youngest son is Halyna reincarnated. Oh, it's a daughter. Could be. Sort of like, the Dalai Lama telling Steven Seagal he's some reincarnated llama. Baloney Bong. That'll never not be funny. He would have Richard Parker the crap out of Hutchins had he been in that boat situation. Oh, yeah, he would have chomped on Hutchins. He would have. He would have Richard Parkered his ass.
Oh, that reminds me. I've got something for you. Hang on.
Uh-oh.
Keep going. I'll be right back.
He's got something for me. Dun, dun, dun. American Dreamer. He said, here's money because I'm leaving for rackets. Well, I'm leaving for rackets too. So we're all leaving together. Daryl Smith, thank you so much. First rule of gun safety, don't point the gun at anything you aren't willing to destroy. Second, never put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to fire. Third, always treat the gun as if it's loaded. Well, hello, sailor.
I just not that I'd ever know anything about maritime law, but if ever, I just thought I was picking up some new costume props and I saw this one. I was like, yeah, that could be fun. But anyway.
Well, sailor, you just anyway. Oof. All right. And we have Tankrad in the house. Aussie Overlord. The stream I watched today was good. I was pleasantly surprised. Pin, how good it was. Well worth subscribing. Of course, well worth subscribing.
Thanks very much.
Last we checked, he was 40. Andrea Britton, member for 2 months, clean us over, says, oh, semen.
It's long and hard and full of semen.
Yeah, that's yeah. So
what do we got? 36. I need 36. If 36 of you haven't subbed, it'll get me to 4K.
36 subscribers to hit 4,000 members. That's what he needs. 4,000 members in his face right now. At least 37 members in his face. Just give him 37 members right up in his grill. Get him to that 4,000 members. That's his body count. He's got 4,000 members in his face. Give it to him.
Oh, God. Thank you very much, Tankrat. I very much appreciate it. I do apologize that this morning was a significantly shorter stream than usual. On a Tuesday, I do travel to my regional office. So basically, it was cut in half. I only did about an hour or so. I do generally go longer than that, and I will tomorrow, which is like 5 p.m. your time. So,
and by the way, in case I ever get fired, I'm coming to Australia, and I'm going to beg you to make me sort of like your apprentice and take me under your wing and give me a job. Just so you know that if I ever get fired from here.
Hey, fair enough. To be fair, Jeff, you wouldn't even need to come to Australia if you didn't really want to. Although I think you need your job there to have your visa.
Yeah, I can get whatever visa. All right. Well, we've got racket starting right now, I suppose. Nick is late as usual. Give us your. He's late, so you got a couple minutes here. Flux shot for today's trial. Do that sober suck. I don't have anything shot here. I can. We've got this.
Skull.
Was that good enough? Are you not entertained? Thank you. Wow. I burned out the mic. There we go. Okay, I can't talk yet. It hurts.
Oh,
There we go.
oh, goodness gracious me.
How was that flux? Was that good enough? The fluxiest mother flucker in my entire fluxing channel. All right. There you go. Anyway, give us your outro here.
Grift.
Grift.
I suck at grifting. We all know this. Guys, as
Sucking
always,
is your grift. Continue, please. Sorry.
Guys, as always, I will be on my usual channel. I am still streaming YouTube and Rumble thanks to the way that my software is set up. I thought I'd be solely on Rumble, but no, that's not the case anymore. So I will see you guys at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard, 5 p.m. Yeah, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. Fuck, it's hard keeping up with you guys' time zones. It's bad enough when I move forward because of daylight savings. Well, thank you very much, Opportorso. I have great content and a great soundboard. Thank you.
Yeah. All your soundboard belong to us. Coming tomorrow, my soundboard.
LOL, laughter, and news, and a lot of fun. So, by all means, go and sub. I'll see you there tomorrow. Stay healthy, wealthy, and wise.
All right, and for me here, we've got we got a couple things here. Oh, Aussie Overlord is sexy. Unlike Australia, his streams exist.
See, here's the trouble. People keep going on about how Australia doesn't exist. No one has given me any actual evidence that America exists. Okay, what evidence can you provide to me that I can't provide to you that Australia exists?
Crickets. Cue the crickets. John Byrne says new emoji. If it's that emoji you sent the other day, I ain't using it. I ain't using the pineapple emoji if that's the one you sent. If there's another new one, we'll look at it. Hayden has great content and the best soundboard in town. We love Flux. Yes, we all love Flux. Grift harder. What does grifting mean? It just means trying to liberate as much money from people as possible. We use it as a term of art and a term of endearment and for humorous purposes, because we were accused of being no good, dirty grifters who were just interested in the money. So we've taken the term and we've made it our own.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
So all right, for me,
what works for us. Yeah, go for it.
What I've got coming up tomorrow is Wednesday that we'll be doing the Taylor Shabusiness Head and Junk in a Bucket update. That's a great case. You followed the Taylor Shabusiness, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We've got an update on that case, as well as another case of a ridiculous. I mean, there's racist judges, and then there's this judge. This is like the most racist judge that's ever racist judged in the entire world. Probably. It's okay. John Byrne says it's a new emoji. It's not the one I'm not using. No, I'm specifically not using that one.
God, that was funny when you saw that on Joe's stream when you actually worked it out.
There's 100 upside down pineapples on that shirt. There's 100 pineapples on 2 are upside down.
And they just happen to be the ones that are on screen at any given time.
Yeah, there's one in the middle of my back and one right here. Anyway, whatever.
Oh god. Oh, actually, guys, for anyone that's still paying attention to what's happening with Amber Heard Down Under, I know there's a lot of people that have sort of written it off. I got an email from the DPP yesterday, from the Public Prosecution's Office. Amber Heard is fighting my FOIA. She's fighting my Freedom of Information Act.
Ooh.
So, yeah. I'm going to go through that tomorrow. I have got the stream listed as mass hysteria. I was expecting to have a little bit more to go through, but unfortunately that's about... we'll go through that email, what I can, because it's still technically confidential with the Department of Public Prosecutions. I will tell you what I can, but that's the long and the short of it. So if I don't see you there, otherwise, I'll give you the deets.
All right. For me, tomorrow will be Taylor Shabusiness and the most racist cop that's ever lived in the history, or judge in the history of the universe. Thursday will be O.J. Simpson. Speaking of racism, the continuation of the cross-examination of Mark Furman. F-bombs and N-bomb. Well, N-bombs will be had that evening. Thursday, that's OJ Simpson, I just said. Friday will be 95% no stream because Legal Mindset and I will be getting entirely too liquored up at some place in Busan together. We'll probably try to do just a quick little high on live stream somewhere, depending how intoxicated we get. What? Why? What happened? You hit 4,000?
Yep. Thank you to everybody that
Boom!
subbed. I very much appreciate it. That's huge. Thank you.
Didn't I get you over the 3,000 mark too?
Yeah,
Was
I
that
think you
me?
might have actually.
It was either
Oh,
you or
it might
me.
have been me. Might have been me.
Just
But
cause
yes.
4K subs on Hayden stream. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Just Cause.
All right.
Very much appreciate it.
Why does it always take me like 15 minutes to end a show? Steph,
'Cause we're so
you're
much
the best
fun.
mod. Steph, the best mod. Rose, the best mod. Alan, the best mod. Everyone else, the best mod. I don't know which mods are still left here, but you're all the best mods ever. And I've got the best chat ever. Alan, the best mod. Yep, the best chat, the best mods, the best guests. We've got it all right here on Legal Vices. Hit him up tomorrow or today or tomorrow, depending where you are. And then hit me up about 23 hours from now. 22 and a half hours from now.
Whoop. Give your host some love, people. Hit like, subscribe, smash that bell like it's a. Oh, I was going to go nasty there.
Smash that bell end.
That'll work. Smash the bell in. Yep.
Smash
works.
the bell end. Make that thing sing. All right, everyone. Whenever that happens, whenever Nick goes live to do the trial, go over there. Wait for him. I'm assuming it's going to be on Rumble. And y'all have a great morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever. Take care of yourself. Love y'all. Love the chat. Love the super chats. Love the everybody. And love you, Hayden. We'll talk to you later in a very non-gay way. But even if it was gay, it wouldn't matter because, hey, it's all cool. See you tomorrow.
Catch you on the
I'm
flip
Legal
side.
Vices. Bye.